So I had a little bit of a line right here. Get real close. You can see I've added just a little bit of a darker line. I got a lighter line. So I'm going from light, medium to dark again. And that little extra darker line in there, again, it has that separation of color, of form, contrast. I put a little dot right there, but I'll go ahead and take that, make that look like a leaf or a, a little detail here of a plant or part of the edge of the field here. But just this light, medium to dark, you know, that contrast, and things recede, I should say, recede. And then here, this is the front of the plant here, and the impression is I'm putting you know, something behind it, a little bit of a shadow in here someplace. Here's part of my trunk, and maybe a little bit of some dark areas in here, but I'm trying to keep that thing nice and bright here and let the shadow behind it sort of bring that forward a little bit. Same thing up here, there's a little part of that plant. You see I'm just sort of dabbing the brush, a little bit of some detail. Water, and put a little bit. Again, go back to my foreground here a little bit. Add some green. A little nicer green in here. Again, I'm trying to start texturing my brush a little bit. Like this idea of, you know, there's the wheat field, but then there's also some sort of green, some plants over here someplace. And this rock down here has a little bit of a put of orange, a little bit of a yellow. And put a little yellow on it. Over the highlights there. Put a little bit of red in there. Just because I like the contrast. I'm using this red here. One of my favorite reds in this palette is this one right here. Sort of a red, warm red. A little bit of brown. Just a little bit. Just a couple of dots. Maybe a little bit up in here someplace. Yeah, just a little bit of that. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is go back to my, go back to the sky here just a little bit. I don't know, the sky's looking, I think the sky's looking pretty good. I might just add a little bit more. I may have mixed too much of my, I have to go back and clean this up. I want a little bit more blue. Again, when you're switching colors around, remember to switch out your water too a little bit. But this dark, I like this dark cloud behind here. This the other side of the clouds or whatever this is here, and that looks like it has a little more purple in it. This technique has these little swirls in it, which are kind of fun. So I'm gonna, oh, and what I want to do, I like how he's got this little dark line towards the top. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn my work upside down. So the water will run up against, right before it turns into the cloud. So I get kind of this, I get this line as the paint tilted up just a little bit. I don't want it to go across my whole piece now. But as it dries, it'll dry up against this white contrast here. And it should give you that little bit of that line. Sometimes painting upside down is kind of fun because you just see it differently. You see it as form and not necessarily the exact painting, so to speak, that you saw. You're just looking at the different contrasts and things. Okay, just give us, I think that's good. So if we do that, purple. I like that purple a lot. I'm going to put that back down into here just a little bit. There we go. So if I add that basically I'm adding a lot of water to this. I'm getting that kind of that flow. I gotta make sure it doesn't look like the same texture as my cornfield. I like that purple and blue mixture. Again, I like these circular patterns I see Van Gogh did. Again, it's part of your imagination. Blue's a little, might add a little more water to this. Get this to run, just to dilute this just a little bit. Looks a little too much blue. I just added some water in it. That'll actually sort of evaporate and get a little bit lighter. Should be an interesting technique too. You get a lot of water in there. I think in between there, just a little bit. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And yeah, let's let that dry. Take another break.